It's January 28th, 2020. I'm Kimberly Jolly from FlossTube, and you can see I have a special guest, my BFF Lori Holt.
Hey everybody.
So she's like the designer behind all of the patterns that we're publishing, and so we thought it would be fun for her to sit, and we're going to talk about her stuff first. So first thing is we're doing the Quilty Love Stitch Along, which is here. So she designed this. This is her Quilty Love pattern, and we're doing a stitch along. And so we're on week four or three?
I think it's three, isn't it?
I think it's three.
Three. Okay, we're on week 3. And we'll show the chart on where we're at. So there we are. So we're on week 3. And so you'll be done by Valentine's Day. And then I'm going to show you everything that we've been stitching in house, so you can kind of see how it doesn't have to be red, white, pink. It can be anything. So this is Cody's. And Cody is using 825 for red and 817 for the pink. And hers is going to be patriotic, and you can see she kind of started week 4. So hers is going to be very Americana. And these are all stitched on the 10 count vintage cloth oatmeal. And this is Cheryl's. She's doing the blues. And so hers are DMC 931 to replace the red and 3752 to replace the pink. So those are super cute.
I love all the different colors.
I know. Here, you can look at them. They're so pretty.
I love them.
And on the cloth, there's one side that is plain and one side that's modeled, and both of them stitched on the modeled side. And on here, I stitched on the plain side. So you can see you can have fun with it. So I had stitched this about a year ago, and I thought, well, everybody's stitching. I need to stitch too. So I did this weekend. Lori hasn't even seen it, I don't think. So I have to frame it.
Oh my gosh, that's
Cute,
so cute,
right? So I just basically put one block. I added some of the small hearts, and then even on the bottom, the hearts are not perfectly aligned, but nobody's gonna know. And this is Lori's small square vintage frame. So you can buy it, it's already painted, and I'm gonna finish it so that you can see it next week, and hopefully it fits. So I'm so excited.
That's so cute.
It is cute, right? And so now I'm going to show you some other things that that everyone is working on, like some of our bloggers and stuff. So we'll pop those up real quick. So this is Hill House Stitches, and I loved this setup because she did the 3-tier tray that Priscilla always does, and then she did Quilty Love, and she added in at the bottom, she added in, I'm not sure if that is part of Quilty Love or not.
Yeah,
and then
that little
heart
frame on the white little clip frame.
It's super cute. And I have a 3-tier tray up, and it's got white in it, and it has nothing else in it. So I should probably copy what she's doing. And then this is Jinky Lynn, and hers is super cute. I love the like, it's not aqua, it's not green, like the seafoam and navy. Super cute. And then Lori Griffin, 68, she's doing orange and yellow. That reminds me of like my kitchen from the when I was a little kid. That was how my kitchen was. And then FQS Quilty Love, this is Alaya Follows the Sun, and super pretty blues. So you can see that everybody is making it their own, and I love that. I love, Lori and I both love that.
Yeah, I love it.
And this is Lisa Piecer 128. I think we showed hers last week too. Super cute. I love that pink and navy and gray. Elizabeth Fisher 9754, and I think she's using the called for colors. Super cute. And this one, oh my gosh. Okay, so I think she like flipped it. So I think what she did was took the design and just turned the hearts. So see, like she just turned it, and then she turned the hearts the other direction. And so not only did she change the color, she changed the whole design. That's super cute.
Really cute.
Super cute. And then Katrina Erickson, super cute. Oops, I'm putting it on upside down. That would have been funny if I wouldn't have seen it. And then Anne Wakefield, super cute. That would have been so funny. Oh, I like those aqua hearts. She's almost done. And this one, oh my gosh, okay, so this one's like all pastel. So she just used a bunch of different, and so I love that. That'll be really cute. That'd be cute in a nursery. Awesome. And then we have our winner. Our winner this week, we are going to contact you as ARSPOINI on Instagram, Arspoini on Instagram.
Real quick, we're going to scrub through everyone's one more time.
I don't think she was on there.
I thought she was. That was her. Sorry, I just skipped her again. That's her.
Yay! I can't see that far away. She's the winner. Yay!
Yeah, super cute.
And then we have some of our bloggers and YouTubers, and so we've got Goose. Denise is Java. Actually, this is
There we go. Java Girl Stitches.
Java Girl Stitches. This is Christy Porter, and she's got a cute YouTube channel, and she's doing hers in red, white, and blue. And if you want to make yours just like hers, you can contact her, and she'll tell you her colors. She's super awesome and nice. And then Stitching in the Barn, she's doing hers just like ours. I think she's just using a smaller stitch count on the fabric, so super pretty. And then Denise, we didn't show Denise's, sorry. Oh, sorry, we didn't have one from her. Okay, well, she'll show one. And so now we have like a really big announcement. But first I want to tell me if you have any questions on Quilty Love, or maybe you could comment and tell us which one is your favorite color combo.
Yes, comment your favorite color combo. I am going to point out that everyone who's doing patriotic colors matches Lori's nails right now, which are very patriotic and cute. Look at that.
Okay, can you zoom in on those nails?
I can.
Because she showed me in the car and I was like, oh my goodness. Her daughter, so Cassidy did her nails. Cassidy is her daughter. But look, those are like hand-painted flowers.
They look so good.
She needs to come live here and do my nails.
Yes. All right. We got lots of people who are saying good morning. Very excited that Lori's here. A different Lori Santamora said, thank you, Lori, for joining us live. Cherry Gingham says, so excited for Lori live. Hi, Lori. Laura Mack said, good morning, Lori. Good morning, Kimberly. And Laura Whitfield says, hi, Lori. I'm stitching Quilty Love.
Yay!
Yay! Hey, everybody.
Oh, and Meme Henley says, someone share the DNA gene of art with me. That's funny.
Okay, so y'all want to know something funny? Okay, so this is a funny story, and I'm going to have a lot of funny stories today because Lori and I. So for Christmas, Cassidy bought Lori, Cassidy is her daughter, a 23andMe kit. And so Lori was telling me all the things you could do with it. So I bought one after that. I sent mine in, and I got my results last night, and she hasn't got her results. So she was all mad. She's like, wait, when did you send yours in?
I'm like, why are you so important? I sent mine in 3 weeks ago.
So she said she was all mad. So we were at dance waiting for Emma to come out. And it was, it was good, but it said, and I already knew, it said I was likely to get type 2 diabetes. But it runs in my family. So I was like, oh, and then Kevin was like, maybe you need to eat better. And I was like, maybe you need to shut your mouth because I don't need your comments about how I eat.
Oh, and she's all Irish and English.
Oh, yeah. I said I was 90.
And that's what I am, except some Italian. And I said, maybe we're cousins.
Yeah. Oh, and then nobody in my family had done it. Everything was 4th and 3rd cousins. There wasn't any 2nd, 1st. My family's I'm not taking that. But anyway, it was interesting. So that's okay, so now to the big thing. Oh. We're going to have a new pattern. It's Lori's, of course. It's called Prim Village. There's a lot of details to this, so I'm going to try to go slow. So this is going to be a pattern. In the pattern, it comes with this charm. The only way to get the charm is through the pattern. This will be available in March. And in the pattern, you get the large prim, which is 147 by 149 stitches. And you get the small prim pattern, which is 38 by 63. Now the 30, I stitched this one, it's at Lori's house. We don't have it here, but we have the big one. And I'm going to show you the little charm before I show you the piece, because you got to wait. It's so cute. Okay, so there. Oh, there we go. See how shiny and pretty it is? It's really nice quality. So we just did something different. We wanted to do something totally different. And it's going to come out in March. And so again, you're going to get the charm and the pattern will come in one package. So I'm going to leave this here. Da-da-da. And then I'm going to have Lori hold it because she made it. And then I'm going to talk about all the different things. But look at it. Okay, so it's not all the way done, but she stitched on it yesterday while I messed up all my quilt blocks.
I'm working on this house right now, and then I just have to finish this one, and this one.
So tell them what order you stitched everything in so that you could fill in.
So like I did all of the border, like the little stitches and stuff in between everything. And then I did all of the chimneys because they're all the same color, and all the roofs and all the windows, so that I could just fill in the houses. And then I was doing the houses when I had some leftover floss. I would just go in and do like the little patchwork, the little churn dashes.
So it's a way to save time by just doing all the same color at one time. And so with this, yeah, she can just hold it. It's so pretty. Okay. She can be like the model. It's so pretty. So she's going to actually stitch on it after we talk so she can keep stitching. So what she's going to do is I'm going to show you how she's going to finish it first, and then I'm going to talk to you about all the things that go with it. So she has her 3 frames that we have at Fat Quarter Shop. Look, it's me on the wall. Sorry, I'm goofy. So it's a lot. This is the large square vintage frame that we sell at Fat Quarter Shop. It's Lori's. She's going to take this frame, and I'm going to let her talk about it. She's going to paint it, but see how it's going to look, and this is her color.
It's kind of crooked now, but anyway, it's going to fit in there perfectly.
And then,
yeah, this is my Pitchfork color, so won't that be nice?
Mm-hmm.
So then when she gets home, she'll finish it and then send it to us, and then we'll photograph both. She's going to finish mine too, so I'm super excited so that we'll have that. So with this, we're really promoting this Prim AuriFloss box. Now this box is going to go with 2 things. We're only showing today the Prim Village, which is going to go with the Parade of Homes, which was planned. So it's just like we're going to just keep adding that in. And we are going to have a stitch along. At lunch today, we're going to pick dates and all that stuff and figure out, and I'm going to stitch along, obviously, and we're going to do it as a longer stitch along because it's a really big piece. And so I don't want anybody to get frustrated and stop. So we're going to do it a little bit at a time. But we're going to be promoting this box. And in this box, this is going to be used for 2 different patterns. The other pattern will be later in the year. So in your box, you open it. And inside, look how the front, look, I was like, oh, it matches. And then inside each box is the AuriFloss. And the AuriFloss, so this would be what you would use for both. Here's this one. For both of the patterns. And in the pattern, we will list DMC colors, but we will not have a DMC pack because we're going to focus primarily on the AuriFloss. So there's the AuriFloss. And then what Lori stitched hers on is 25 count oatmeal on the modeled side. And we will have that back in stock in about 2 weeks. She also is going to have some new 25 count colors. This one is Overcast. And this one is Prim. And the Prim is a much larger piece. And there's a reason for that we will talk about later. So what you can get now is you can get the floss and then wait for the fabric. But if you put it, we were going to put this next to it because you can decide which one you like better. If you want to do oatmeal, if you want to do Prim, or you want to do Overcast, and those are 25 count, and I would say they're very beginner. I was able to stitch on it just fine. I do use a light though. And then it comes the charm. Okay, put the charm with it. Oh my gosh, look, she's going to be like the model.
Then you can put like this
on your bag. Oh yeah, she's going to show you on your bag.
Oh. My friend Christy from Crosshatch Quilts made me this bag.
Ooh.
It's out of Granny Chic.
And she said she's on Instagram.
She is. She's one of my peeps. She lives by me in Utah. So.
Is she on Etsy?
Look how cute.
Is she on Etsy?
No, she's not on Etsy. She's on Instagram.
Okay, well I want a bag,
Quilts.
so send me how much it costs, and I'm gonna get back too.
But I love it. It's all quilted.
Yeah, and then you just put the charm on the zipper of the bag.
Yeah. I keep putting it in and out. Sorry.
So cute.
That's so cute. All right. We
not
do have
just
questions.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, Lisa Sweet says, Lori, you are looking fabulous, but you always do.
Oh,
Thanks,
is
Lisa.
fabulous.
thank you.
I love Lisa. You're amazing. Cindy Weddiking says, beginner friendly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
I'm all
then-
about beginner friendly. I'm not doing anything hard.
I try to do everything on my cross stitch beginner friendly.
Yes.
So.
All right. M. Bailey says, beautiful homes. Does Lori stitch in hand?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to stitch and they can just watch you and then they'll see how you stitch
Yes,
in
I
hand?
want to stitch.
Yeah, let her stitch.
You're asking
So-
me if I want to cross stitch? Yes, I want to cross
Yeah, well, that way then they can like see how it, like, because they always ask how you do it, and I don't know. We'll see.
I'm showing you the back now.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. And Janelle Bassler says, do you use 1 or 2 strands of AuriFloss?
2.
I use 2 on the 25 count Lugana.
Okay. And Julie Washburn says, is 25 count Lugana similar in size to 14 count Ada?
It's actually, but it's a 12.5 Ada, which doesn't exist, so the holes are bigger. So it's actually easier to see than 14 count. You just stitch over 2.
And would you still use 2 strands for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 over 2.
All right.
Yep. And if you're too scared to do the 25 count of hers, you can stitch on the 14 count, or you could stitch on her 10 count, but it wouldn't fit because the chart is too big for that. So you could do a portion of it on a 10 count if you wanted to, but you just need to make sure that you have a piece big enough. And we made sure that her 25 count packages are big enough.
A lot of people want to know, is there a quilt pattern that matches the cross stitch pattern?
There sure is. It's in my Prim fabric, and it'll be in a box, a special box.
Oh, that's right.
collection.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a quilt kit, so it should be on our coming soon page. We can link it below. That's what that's right.
Well, you saw it. Remember,
Okay,
like
yeah,
when you came
that's
to my
right.
house in
Okay.
September, she like saw my Prim fabric collection, and
I-
you
it's-
went,
went
crazy
crazy.
for it. And when you
I
saw,
said, "Can I make
when
it
you
a
saw my
cross
Prim
stitch?"
village, you're like, let's do that in a cross stitch. Let's do it in a cross stitch. So
Yes. That's right.
That's where we're at.
I totally forgot. Yes. I'm going to make that too because it's cute. It's a little bit, yeah. So Sarah took it and we charted it, and then, Lori and Sarah did their little magic.
Oh, and we have linked it below in the comments.
Yes. Okay, good. Sorry, I forgot about that.
No, you're good. Nancy's Needlework says, oh, she now has a FlossTube channel, Crosshatch Quilts.
Yay.
That's cool.
Oh, she does? I didn't even know that.
Look at
Christy.
that. Yeah.
Yay, Christy.
Okay, Rebecca Sewing says, I love your Saltbucks houses, Lori. Can't wait to stitch this. Did you stitch it on your 10 count?
She's stitching on 25
Yeah,
count.
it's 25
oatmeal.
count.
Okay.
So it's 2 over 2, so it ends up being like a 12.5 count, sort of, I guess if that's how you want to look at it.
Hang on. Stitch Time, Pittsburgh, but time spelled like the herb.
T-H-Y.
Yeah. It says, Kimberly, are you drinking Starbucks iced tea? Love that Prim Village pattern.
Yeah, and so is Lori.
They've got matching Starbucks, you guys.
So this is
We always get the same.
So this is like funny, like for real. When we go to a restaurant, like we won't even ask each other. We'll just order the same thing, and she's like, "That's what I was gonna order."
Whoever the waitress asks,
Whatever she
who
wants.
orders first. Like if they ask me, then I'm like, and then she wants the same thing.
Yeah.
And we don't even know.
Like last
That's
night
what
at
we
dinner, I like ordered her drink. Well, okay, so I don't know very many people who order their drink this way, but my mother and Lori do. Like extra ice. Like I don't care about anything else at the meal, but there better be a lot of ice in my tea, and if there's not, my whole meal is ruined.
do. That's me.
And it's just like, I need more ice. So I just got to where I'm like, can I just have a cup of ice? And then I start pouring one into the other, and then my kids are like, Mom, you're making a mess. And I'm like, it's fun. I like to embarrass you. It's fun.
That's our job, to
Yes.
embarrass our kids.
Yes.
Oh. Gabriel Fuentes says, Lori, how's the yo hit me up pattern coming along?
The what?
Yo, hit me up.
That's not her
Oh
style.
yeah, I forgot about that.
What is it?
We talked about that in the chat. Like,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know,
sorry. I'm
like-
I'm lost. I'm
well,
no-
you were talking about your son. Which one was it that said?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, who
Peyton.
said that? Oh, it was Peyton.
512.
And so we were talking about that in live stream, and then I'm like, yeah, we should stitch that pattern up.
Oh my gosh, he is so. Oh my gosh, Emma got in the car last night, so it's like Lori and her husband, and then Emma, and then Christopher wasn't there. Basically, everyone but Christopher and Kevin. And Emma gets in the car, and she like immediately wants to go into the rap lyrics that he shouldn't be listening to, and I'm like, now is not the time. Like we don't need to have these family discussions with Lori and Carrie. Shut your mouth.
And I'm like, I have a family. They're just kids. It's okay.
I know, but
chill
I'm
out.
like, sip it right now. Like, not right now.
That's funny.
She's so funny. She's like, I don't care. That's just Lori.
yeah.
Like,
It's true.
I know, but still.
It's just me.
All right, we got a few more questions here. Layla Lily McIntyre says, can you get Monaco fabric by the yard?
Okay, so they're no longer making it by the yard, and they are no longer making black. We would get all of those things if we could, but they discontinued them. So basically the two pieces, or the pieces that we have online is all that DMC will deliver to our distributors. So we basically had our contact point at our distributor call DMC, like had a phone call with DMC, and we were just like, we will take any kind of Monaco you have, 28 count, what is available. Anything available we sell, and that's it. Like they won't offer anything else at this time for whatever reason. And I mean, like, we're not like a huge shop. Like, they're not going to just change, like, oh, Kimberly wants to buy 100, we're going to make it. No, it doesn't work like that. So we wish it did.
Okay. Cynthia Wilson says, y'all are sisters separated at birth.
Oh my gosh,
yes,
yes.
they
That's
are.
why I thought maybe we were cousins on 23andMe.
I know, she's like,
I guess
look.
not.
I'm like, I don't see any Holts. I only saw one last name that I recognized. And I was like, oh, I don't know who all these other people are. But it was like third and fourth cousins, so I don't know.
And Cindy Wedeking says, haven't cross-stitched in 25 years. Is my DMC floss still okay, or should I start with new?
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. I've had the same DMC for a long time, and I still use it. It's not a problem.
All right. Vicky Hafler says, so I bought the AuriFloss for the BLOOM-TOPIA cross-stitch. Never used it before, but do you separate the threads?
Yeah, you're supposed to. I am lazy and don't, but you're supposed to, so yes.
Well, if you use all 6 strands together, like on 10 count, you don't need to separate it. Because it's really nice. It doesn't twist and things like that. But if you're only using 2 or 3 strands, then yeah, you need to separate it. Just like you would DMC.
And I don't know if you guys want to talk about this now or later, but Sharon Berkemeyer was asking, how long have you known each other, and did you become friends through quilting?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it at the end. We have a photo and everything. So like yesterday we were like, well, I can't remember what year we met. We were at lunch, and she's like, I don't know, like 10 years, 2009. I was like, I don't know. And then we get her husband in the car, and we were like, okay, what year do you think we met? And within like 30 seconds, he knew the year. And we were like, how do you know the year? And we don't even know.
We should have just asked him instead of trying to research it.
Because I had to go through my phone. Like, I went through my phone to find the date. But we're going to show it in a little bit and tell the story. But yeah, we were like, oh, we should have just called Carrie. He knew. Okay, so we're going to talk about Parade of Homes. So first is mine, which first I'll just show this. This is the Year on the Trellis by A Little Stitch Girl. So these are her 4 patterns, and I'm going to be doing all 4, and I'm going to do them every other month because you're going to see in a little bit that I threw something else in to my Parade of Homes. So I stitched this on Farmhouse 10 count vintage cloth by Lori Holt, and I used the called for DMC. I did change one of the colors. My bag.
Your colors are so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I changed one of the colors. Hold on. I put my bag somewhere. Hold on. It's in my chair. Ha ha ha. Let me tell you the color.
Do you want me to hold that up?
Yeah, you hold this, and I'll tell you the colors I changed. Sorry. So I did change the color on one of them. I should have wrote it down, but I forgot. I stitched so much that, oh my goodness. Okay, I changed 38.90 to 37.66, and I changed 352 to 754, and I made my house one of those colors instead of the yellow. I changed the yellow to the blue. So that is mine. Yay! And that took me, let's see, that one took me 11.8 hours because I'm anal retentive and I like to keep my notes. Because I'm a dork like that. So my second Parade of Homes I made last year. This is the Cottage of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is January. And the funny story on this is I stitched this on 16 count lamb's wool, and I stitched my February on 14 count, and then I realized 16 count, and then I did the rest on 14 count, so none of them match, but whatever. It's funny. Okay, so this one is Cheryl's. This is, she stitched on Platinum 32 count Lugana by Zweigart. She used the called for colors, and she's using any fancy floss, if there is fancy floss. And she, oops. This is the individually. She's going to
Here,
stitch
let me
it.
hold it up.
She's going to, oh, I got it. She's going to stitch it as one piece. And if you want to see how it's going to finish, we'll pop that up real quick. And all the information on how to join them together is on the manufacturer's website.
Oh, hang on. That was my bad. There we go.
Next one.
Thank you.
So that's how it's going to look. And she's already on month 2. And so kind of what we're doing is one house a month. She's just ahead. And this is Cody's. Okay. So this is Glitter House Village. She's going to be stitching them individually. Cody is stitching on Water Lily 14 count Ada by Wichell. She's using called for DMC, and she sprayed this glitter on her fabric.
Ooh.
And so we put a link to it. It's on Michael's. You can get it at Michael's. So we put a link to it, but you can just buy it at Michael's, and that's what she used. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Let me see that glitter.
It's, yeah.
That's cool.
And do you want to zoom in on it? Because it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can smell it. You can smell that spray though. It's fancy. Hers is fancy. The next one is Denise's. This is Gingerbread Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. She's stitching it on 16 count lamb's wool by Wichell, using called for DMC, and she's going to stitch them all individually. So it'll be interesting to see how she finishes them all. Do you know how you're going to finish them? Oh, what if we send them to Priscilla and she has to finish 11 of them?
Whoa.
She will kill me. I would. Oh, okay. So this is Frosty Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks. Shelby is stitching it. Shelby, if y'all don't know, she does social media photos. She's stitching on Country French Rain 32 count linen by Wichell. She's using DMC and Weeks Dye Works, and she's stitching it as one piece. So she started in the center. And that's how it's going to look. So you can see, whoop, there's the center. Okay, on the very next one, this is Welcome to the Forest by Deborah. She's doing it as a 7-part series. She's stitching on Smoky Blue 32 count even weave by Fabric Flair. She's using DMC and Classic Colorworks, and she's stitching as one piece. And just so you know, on Fabric Flair, on one side is the color, and on the back it'll be white. Just so that you know, it's screen printed on one side, so just so you know that when you get it, you're going to get one side that's white and one side that's not. And it's the hand-dyed look, but it's not hand-dyed, it's screen printed. And if you stitch it as one piece, I'll show you how that's going to look. So she started at the top. And you can see how she's changing her colors completely. So it's going to give it a whole nother look. And then this one, I love this one. This one is Snow Place Like Home by Country Cottage Needleworks. Angel is stitching it. Angel works in our It's So Emma team. She's stitching on 14 count lamb's wool by Wichell, and she's using the called for colors, and she's stitching it as one piece. So she'll stitch to the sides. This is how she's doing it. So you can see she's going to add to the sides. So Lily's going to show us how it looks. So she started in the center and she goes out. So that is our parade of homes. And we will be doing the Prim Village as part of the parade of homes. Once we release the pattern, we will have a sew along and all of that. But let me know if you have any questions on any of the parade of homes, or if you want to see anything up close that we can pull up.
All right. Life So Crazy was asking, will Prim Village have a DMC pack?
It will not. We are going to list the DMC colors in here, but we're not going to offer a pack. We're just going to offer the AuriFloss.
Let me see this. And then comment below what you're stitching for hashtag FQS Parade of Homes. And if
Yes.
you share it, make sure to use that hashtag that's on the
Yes,
screen.
and you know what? We have some pop-ups right now of Priscilla and Chelsea's. I forgot. For 2 seconds, I forgot.
Let me get to it. Hang on, these might be out of order.
So this is,
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
so that is, we'll just jump ahead, but that is going to be Priscilla's Bloomtopia. So she's going to be stitching on the buffalo check, and that is her little dog, Piper, that growls at everybody, and I'm not ever going to go to her house now because I think he will bite me. Lori's dog growls at me too, but I don't think Lori's dog will bite. That
He
dog
won't
bites.
bite.
That dog bites.
He just growls because he's
No, but
like
that dog
a
bites.
Chihuahua.
That dog bites. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm scared of the doggy. And then this is how it looks. And then this is Priscilla's Bloomtopia. Chelsea's. Sorry.
Oh, that's so pretty.
There
yeah,
you
okay,
go.
so these are their parade of homes. This one is, what's the name of the pattern? Snow Village. Snow Village. Oh, and there's a good doggy on the bottom that doesn't bite.
Ronnie.
That's
Alright.
a good doggy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yay!
Okay. And then we did have some shout outs for Parade of Homes.
Okay. Oh, pocket full of stitches. That's so pretty. So that is the Shannon Christine pattern. And that one is like where you can either do it individually or you can do it as a joined group. That one's really pretty. And this is Aggie Rachel. She always posts. She cracks me up because I always think, yeah, she goes, I think she lives in San Antonio, and I think that's a reference to A&M. I think.
Oh.
Yeah, Texas A&M. That's what I think it is. But she always posts. I love her stuff. I don't know what pattern that is, though. It says Gazebo by Main Street. There you go. Stitchy Mommy. Stitchy Mama.
Stitchy
Oh, that's
Mama.
cute. That's Frosty Forest, right? I think that's Frosty Forest. Yeah. Super cute. And then Creative Raquel. What pattern do you think that is? Cinnamon Stars. Okay, so that is by no, it's by oh my goodness.
Plum Street.
Plum Street, yes. Ah, yes. Yeah, it took us 3 people to answer that.
We got it.
And then C59 Milan. So she's doing the cottages of the month, and she has February all done. Looks like she might have used fancy floss. Super pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mary 89323. So she's got all her stuff. She's ready to go. That I don't even know what pattern that is because it's so far away. Jana Glosson is doing February. I love her finish. Super cute. And then there's January. Teresa McMath 01. Super pretty.
I love how she finished that.
I know. It's pretty.
Okay.
Yay!
All right. Lots of questions.
Okay.
Cherry Gingham's asking, is Lori doing Parade of Homes?
Yeah.
Right in front of you.
Right now. I'm doing Great Homes.
She's just doing it before everybody else gets the pattern.
Salt box homes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And I did see that a few people were asking if we could get a close-up of Lori's stitching. Unfortunately, just with the angle of the camera right now, I don't think we can, but we will in the future.
There's your close-up.
All right. Barbara Blake Wilbur was asking, do either of you use a hoop when stitching at any
No.
time?
No.
I used to use a Q-snap, but I quit.
Jenna Gorsuch was asking, so Snow Village can count towards Parade of Homes?
Yeah. Yep, and I've got to catch up on mine. Haven't touched it in like 3 months.
All right. And Gwen Smith's asking, amateur here, can you do the 32 count Parade of Homes patterns on 14 count Ada too?
You can. What you do is you take your stitched count, you divide it by your 14, and then you just make sure you have a piece big enough for that. But you can use any fabric you want. Any floss, anything.
All you have to do is do stitchy math.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stitchy math.
Sounds so easy, right? And then you're like, wait, what do I do?
Yeah. Diana Sue Armstrong Sekra says, could you show a close-up of Prim Village?
Yeah.
Give Lori a second.
Here, let me get the...
Ooh.
She got a lot done yesterday.
In between all our adventures, huh?
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Y'all gonna hear about our adventures in a little bit.
excited.
Oh, I don't know. Hope Kevin's not watching. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my god.
Lori hopes he's not watching.
It's all good to me. I don't care.
She's
It's just a day in the life with Lori.
Alright, and Goose Design says, 2 of my favorite people on FlossTube. It's like a dream come true. Thank you, Lori and Kimberly.
Thank you.
Home Mom says, do you know if Lori's American Blue 10 count will be available soon?
Oh, I can't remember. I think so. I can't remember the date that it's coming, but I think it's pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll put that on our list to ask and then give you an answer next week to be sure. It's the only 10 count that hasn't come in yet, and I'm not sure what happened on that. At one point I knew, but I forgot. Obviously, just like I forgot that I turned a quilt kit into a cross stitch. I can't remember, but...
Saskia says, currently finishing a whip while watching so I can start Bloomtopia without guilt.
Yay!
Yes. And then Barbara Baker, I just love how she put this comment. She put like the emoji that's clapping hands. She put like 3 hands and she's like, Lori Holt is in the house. And then 3 more hands. So I picture her like clapping like, Lori Holt is in the house.
So I have a little board in my house and it has like letters. And it said on there, Mommy said 10 jumping jacks because my kids, they think they're funny. And Lori was like, where are your letters? And then she put, Lori was here.
Aww.
And then Payson came in and saw it last night and he's like, that's funny.
That is funny.
So I was like, I'm waiting until one of them changes Lori to one of their names.
All right. Nancy C was asking, what size needle do you use for 25 count fabric?
I don't even know what I'm using. I just grab a needle. So probably
26.
Yeah, it's probably 26.
Yeah, I think 26. That's what I use 26.
All right. And on the subject of needles, do you guys have favorite cross-stitch needles? Heather refuses asking.
Yeah, she loves her needles.
Yeah, I usually use my tapestry needles, but because I was traveling, I didn't have mine with me, so I just grabbed a needle and started using it. But there's all different sizes in the tube that they come in. And so, depending on what cloth you're using. But I just recommend grabbing a needle and starting with the cloth. And if you feel like it's too big or if it's too thin, especially like with 10 count, you don't want it to fall through the holes all the time when you're losing your needle. So you need to use a bigger size, but just always a tapestry needle.
So Bloomtopia is starting. We're going to release the cross stitch and the quilting free patterns sometime on Friday, just because Saturday is the weekend. So you get a day extra. This is our wonderful Bloomtopia cross stitch. And this is going to be a free pattern. And I will show you kind of a sneak peek if Lily can zoom in on this. Basically, this is how we're going to release it. It's a completely free pattern, and each of them there's going to be different sections. So this will be section 1, and we're asking for you to donate directly to Make-A-Wish. We're hoping if you make the whole thing that you could donate $15. If you can give more, great. If you can give less, great also. We are appreciative of even if you give $1. So this is going to start on Friday, and we have all of the things. And I have all of this in a bag. So these are the different things that we're offering for sale with it. We've got the Bloomtopia bag, the Bloomtopia charm, the bag, the charm. You can choose from either DMC or AuriFloss, either one. I used DMC. I stitched this with Lori too, also. No, I started it and then stopped. Lugana pewter. This is what I use, 25 count. And a lot of people are using Touch of Gray 14 count Ada for that. So that is starting. Just a quick reminder, we would love for you guys to sew along and just be looking for that completely free pattern. And if you could donate to Make-A-Wish, we will love that and totally appreciate it. If y'all have any questions on Bloomtopia, let me know.
I know we have some shout outs for Bloomtopia.
Okay, yay.
What?
Oh, there's Priscilla. Super cute. I didn't know that she put her thread back through that loop. I've never done that.
Oh.
I've never done that. I was wondering when I saw it on the phone in the car. I was like, how does it look like that? I didn't know she did that. And then this one is Java Girl Stitches. Yes. So this is Christy Porter. Cute. And I'm sure if y'all want to know her colors, she'll let you know what they are on her channel if you want to subscribe to her YouTube channel. This is Jamie X Stitch. Super cute. A lot of people have added purple, so super cute. And then Aggie Rachel, there she is again. I think she just wants me to say Aggie. Maybe I'll say gig 'em for her. And then this is Peach. She's ready for doing both. She's going to do the quilt and the cross stitch. Yay!
Oh, that's so cute.
And it looks like she's going to use the AuriFloss pack. Maybe she's going to combine the AuriFloss Corey Yoder and then the Corey Yoder DMC pack. She's going to combine those two.
Yes.
And then there we go.
All right. We got a few questions. Sonia Fisk is asking, what pattern is a table runner on the table?
This is Lori's brand new book.
Ooh.
That's why I'm here, so we can do
Yeah,
the photo shoot.
It's called Quilter's Cottage, and so Quilter's Cottage is the cross stitch. It was originally the cross stitch, and so we turned it into a quilt. And the quilt is behind Lori, and this is a table runner that's.
These are the flowers that are like under the house in the quilt.
So this is a table runner in the book. And then over here, these are pillowcases that are in the book, and they're quilt blocks also if you wanted to just do them as a quilt block. So we're going tomorrow morning to Fredericksburg, Texas to do a photo shoot, and I got to figure out what time I'm supposed to be there because I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure it out later.
Or if
Me
you don't
too.
know, I don't know. So.
Yeah, she's going in the car with me. Well, we'll show up when we show up, I guess.
Yeah, we'll show up
I do have to
together.
get my kids to school, so I have to do that.
Okay. Cassie Gibbons says, hello, Lori Holt. Any chance we will get Lori Holt's barn and farm animals in a cross-stitch pattern?
Yeah.
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 There's some plans.
Yeah.
For sure.
Ooh. Okay. Peggy Young says, does Lori offer 14 count? Since I've been stitching on 14 count, it's too hard for me to go back to 10. Or
Yes.
should I use a hoop with 10 count?
I don't use the hoop with 10 count. She has 14 count.
I have one
In
14
oatmeal.
count in oatmeal right now, but I'll be having some colors coming.
And we can link to that. Like, we can link to her specific cloth below.
Jessica Jane says, what size cloth will we need for Bloomtopia?
I use 25 count pewter Lugana, but you can use anything. Some people are using brown. So we have some new stuff. So first, this is the Love Whirly Gig brand new pattern by Heart and Hand. I'm gonna let Lily zoom in. So Denise made this one on the paddle, and she used Priscilla's and Chelsea's video that's on our channel on how you finish using a circle sticky board. So she finished it following our video. So super exciting, and we have this one as a kit. And Cheryl also stitched it, and this is, sorry.
Here, let me hold the paddle.
Yeah, you hold the paddle.
That's so cute to me.
So this one is Cheryl's, and she stitched using Vintage Country Mocha size 32. And she used Fancy Floss, and then we used for our kit just the DMC. So you can see the difference in the two. They look pretty much the same. So those are new. They're so cute. I want to make it in my spare time, right? And then what I worked on, I'm going to take this out. What I worked on this weekend is I decided that we got this pattern in, and I decided to go ahead and add it to my Creative Home. So I'm getting ahead for February so that I can be caught up, and I have this is what I've been working on. So there's 4 different seasons, and so there's one for each season. They both have houses. So I'm going to do Little Stitch Girl 1 month, then I'm going to do this one. Then I'm going to go back to Little Stitch Girl, and then I'm going to do the next season. And this is in this pattern, the Fancy Floss comes, and it's vanilla pudding, and it's actually silk, and it's beautiful. And oh my gosh, I don't think I should have ever tried working with silk because it doesn't knot up. It's been really nice. And I stitched on wheat 28 count Lugana, and the reason I stitched on not Ada was because we didn't have a color. The colors that we had in Ada were just too brown, and it didn't look good with the white. So we did this, and we're going to try to get this in an Ada color. I mean, we're going to get this color in Ada so that, because I would have preferred to stitch on Ada because I can go a lot faster. So we haven't been able to find this in 14 count, the wheat yet. So, that's what I did this weekend. Let me tell you how many hours it took me. Oh, I'm at 27. No, it's 17 hours. That's what I'm at. I'm good. I'm at 17 hours. We also have some new items. This is, I love this. I'm going to make this. This is the first time I've seen it. 2020 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. Oh my gosh. Me and Lori, we got to make it. So look, okay, it comes with the fabric. Ooh. It comes with the fabric for the front and this red fabric. Red fabric, see? And it has the button. Oh my gosh, we got to make it.
Yeah, let's do it. That's really cute.
We're going to make that. And then the next, we're really bad enablers. This is the next in the Snow Village. So if you're in the club, this shipped. This is the next Snow Village. This is Animal Alphabet by Prairie Schooler. This is the Stitcher Hood Love. And this is Heart and Hand Legacy Snowman. Yay! Okay, I'm not, she already took it.
I took it. You said let's do it.
I know, we're
going
to do it. We're going to have to
get thread my needle.
I know, it's so cute. I really like this. No, we gotta do it. Okay. And then this is all Lori's new stuff. Da, da, da. So you can see that I'm already using her bag. Ooh. See, it's my bag.
That's so cute.
So we've got, I think I've shown these before. So Vintage. This is the one I have. Happiness is Homemade. And this is her grandma. No, this is your mom. That's your mom.
Yeah, she looks like my mom. I styled her after my mom.
It says, a lady never discusses the size of her fabric stash. And then
that goes for cross stitch fabric too.
Yes. And then she has some new charms. I'm just going to show. And they're great for your bags, your project bags. I should get the telephone one. I'll tell you why. So when I was in 7th grade, I was always a good kid. Like, I never caused my mom any problems. I mean, I really didn't. But when I was in 7th grade, I was a big mouth and I couldn't shut up. And I had this history teacher. It was Texas history. And he was like, can you just shut up? I wouldn't shut up. So he made a sign. This is like back when computers were like brand new, because that's how old I am. And it said in this ugly font, telephone, telegraph, Kimberly. Because I wouldn't shut up. And then I got sent to the office and then I did shut up.
Oh. So you know how you said I was shy a couple of weeks ago?
Oh yeah, she's not shy.
I'm just camera shy. I'm not shy. I was always the kid who got kicked out of class for talking too. Oh. So yeah, I'm always the heckler in the back row. You know.
Yeah, I don't talk that much now, but I used to run my mouth. Oh my god. Okay, so we were talking about, we were trying to decide when we met, because I totally fangirled Lori. And when I met her, I was just like, oh my gosh, Lori, we're going to work together. She probably thought I was crazy. But we looked at the day. It was May 14th, 2011. So we have a picture of it. And so, and then Lori said, it's been 10 years. We're in 2021. I was like, we are not in 2021. We are in 2020.
I'm like, you're talking to a designer who has to work a year ahead of time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I never even know what year it is anymore. That's us. There we are.
That's so long ago. Oh my gosh.
So almost 10 years ago. That was like the very first day. Kimberly's like, come over to me. I was at the table.
Oh yeah, I just totally was like, oh,
market,
there's
I was
Lori.
at the table. She's like, oh hey, Jocelyn, take our picture. And I'm like,
who is
this? Who is this? Yeah.
Who is this?
She didn't know who
I
it
never
was.
knew she was going to be my BFF, right?
Yeah. Aww. And so yesterday, I'm going to tell a little story. So yesterday we went, I wanted to get something to put on my mantle, right?
Yeah, for your bedroom. You're like, show me your mantle. And you're like, I need something for here and here. So.
Yeah. So we were going to go and we always go to Home Goods anyway. And I was telling her, I was like, our Home Goods is not like y'all's Home Goods. And she's like, oh, it's fine. So we went and it was not like our Home Goods. I saw her go down one aisle.
It was just empty.
It was horrible. So she went down one aisle and she just turned the cart. I was like, see? And then she went down the next aisle. She's like, why are there basketballs
Well, it cracked me up because there was like the kitchenware.
And there's basketballs.
And then there's basketballs right in the middle of the kitchenware.
It was horrible. And there was like nothing on the shelves. And and then there was like a lot of Rae Dunn stuff. A ton of Rae Dunn stuff. So I was like texting Priscilla, because I don't like Rae Dunn stuff. I mean, I don't not like it. I just don't. Like, I don't decorate.
But that's where the basketballs were.
Yeah.
Right? It was right in the.
And so we were like, we're going to get nothing. And so we were just like going. And then there was like a cart of stuff they were going to put out. And I looked, it was all bathroom stuff. So I was like, oh, we're not going to buy anything. This is going to be so depressing. And then I hear Lori, Kimberly, you gotta buy this right now. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy that. We gotta call. So I called my nanny because I was like, maybe can measure my closet for this piece of furniture. She's like, you are not measuring it. We're just gonna buy it.
It was a cupboard. It was
She's
really,
like,
really cute.
You're gonna buy it right now. So then I like chased the guy. I bought it. Okay, you tell the rest of the story.
Well, she needs a cupboard for in her, like, she has like a walk-in closet type thing for her sewing room, and she was like saying, my books are on the floor and I need some organization. And so I'm like, this is what you need, is a cupboard that fits into your closet so that you can just put all your fabric in there, but it has doors and drawers on it too, and then it's super cute. If you have to have organization, it should be cute, right?
And then she's like, oh, and it's magnolia. So then I like go get the guy to like get it, and she's like, was it gonna fit in your car? I was like, well, I don't know, we're gonna have to see. So then it did fit in my car, and then it barely fit. So we get home, and then I like run to try to find a measuring tape, and then I'm like measuring, I'm like, I think it fits. And then we had to Uber her husband from the hotel to my house to help us get it in the car.
Yeah, because it's too heavy for us to get out.
And
but
then,
she was out. I'm like, Kimberly, if you don't buy it now, she's like, let's go home and measure it.
Yeah, I was going to go home and measure
and then come back. And I said, it will be gone. I promise it will be gone.
And then when I went to get the car, the guy was telling her, oh my gosh, we just put that out. Like, those go so fast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was right, and you got it. That was perfect.
I did. I don't think I could believe that it fit. So here it is. Of course, it's empty. This is her husband putting it in my closet. It fits. And then we got to find something for right there.
But look how cute that is. That's so cute.
I know.
And it has, you open the doors and there's shelves on there.
Yeah.
And then there's the 2 drawers.
It's so cute.
It fits so perfectly under there.
I know. It's 1 inch on top and ½ an inch, a 1/4 inch on each side.
Yeah, Carrie just had to take the curtain rod. You can see the curtain rod on the other side. He just had to take that.
And then he took it out, and then I go, oh, I need to go get your screwdriver. He goes, no, you don't. He just pulled them out on the wall. He goes, you don't screw these in. We were like, oh my gosh, we would have been like. So that was fun. So today we're gonna try to find, because basically yesterday we were talking about Moda blockheads, which is Quilty, and how I'm gonna substitute some of her blocks in. She's like, well, go get these books. I'm like, they're on the floor. I gotta get down on the floor and get them. She's like, why are your books on the floor?
Yeah, I needed my vintage Christmas book, and you're like, I can't find it, but then you did.
I did find it after I was like digging through stuff. Yes, that was fun.
All right. We have one question from Deborah O'Keefe. She's asking about Bloomtopia cloth. She says, any that will work with a larger stitch?
You can do 14 count. Yeah, you can do 14 count. And then one question that we did have last week, was we were talking about the cross stitch like market that people could go to, and it's needleworkgalleria.com. Priscilla told me. Thank you, Priscilla.
Yes.
So if y'all are interested in going, somewhere where you can shop different booths, I don't know anything about it. I've never been. I don't even know what month it is, where it is, nothing but needleworkgalleria.com.
All right, we have a few shout outs.
Yay! Oh, look, it's Simple Sewer, and she did, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Happy Camper cross stitch. She just has to do the top of the camper.
Yeah, that's so cute.
And then, this is last year's. Mm-hmm. This is Heart in Hand, but it's one of her previous years. I guess she comes out with one each year. That's cute, the little fishes. And then this is Be My Valentine, or Be Valentine. What is
Valentine Bird.
Valentine Bird. Okay, so peaceful. We're currently out. We will have more in a couple days. And then Jessica Knox Provost. Oh, okay, this one I really like. That's Ann Sutton's. We did that as a kit. Cottage on the corner. I was like, cottage on the something, and then she did some other ones. They're cute. I like her finishes.
Yay. A few people were wondering if Lori is going to be in our Friday live stream.
No, she's flying home.
I'll be on the plane.
Yeah. So you guys get her today. So get your questions in if you want to ask anything. Liz Henselmeyer said, you realize there's going to be a rush on home goods now.
Yeah.
When I get home, I'm going to see if there's one in mine, and then we'll have twin cupboards.
I know.
It was cute. It's not like huge, and it's not tiny.
And it wasn't
like a perfect
like
size.
expensive for that piece of furniture. It was not expensive. And I need I have all these buckets, and the thing I was telling Lori is everything's in a bucket, but they're not see-through buckets, and then I can't find anything. And she's like, well, first of all, your book shouldn't be on the floor. And I'm like, well, duh.
And I'm like, second of all, you need a label maker.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, you need to label. So then yesterday what I did was because I don't have like a big fabric stash, but I have a lot of duplicates. So I'm going to give her for her next book, some of my leftovers because they're duplicates and they're going to work perfectly in her next book. But so she's going to help. We're going to try to find, I don't think we're going to find one, but we're going to try to find just a plain wood shelf today. And then she's going to give me tips.
Like a white wood.
Yeah.
Like a bookcase or something that's short enough, because it can only be like 65 inches tall.
Because she was like, just put your books here, put your fabric here. And I'm like, okay, well, you just like do part of it and then I'll finish it. Like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. But then I did have all my fabric like stacked everywhere. And I know Kevin went in my office because he brought stuff home. And then I was like, oh. And then he asked me, what did y'all do today? Just like everything? And I was like, yeah. But all my kids saw the thing. So I'm like, I wonder if Christopher told him. Because I don't really tell him, I just let him find it.
Well, when we were at Home Goods, I'm like, you need to buy this right now.
And I was like, no. Kevin's gonna kill me.
She goes, I can only buy it now if we can get it home and
put it in the house.
Get it in the. And I'm like, well, doesn't he ever come in your sewing room? She's like, not in my closet. I'm like, okay, we'll call Mr. Honey, get him over here and get it all set up, and never know.
Kevin works all the time. There's like no chance that he's gonna put some piece of furniture up. He's gonna be like, no. You didn't need it. He always asks in the store, this is what Laura and I were talking about, he always says, so he'll say, why do you need that? Or my husband will say, where's that going to go? I didn't ask you to ask me where it was going to go. I just said, do you like it? Don't ask me questions.
Yeah, and what did Carrie say when
he says
at dinner last night, I said, I'm going to buy a new machine. I'm like, my husband says the same thing.
He goes, what do you need it for?
He goes,
did you buy it?
He's like, why? No, I forgot, but I'll buy it tonight. I'm going to buy a sewing machine like Kimberly's.
We have everything.
Because I like how the thread. Yeah. You explain it. I don't know how.
So like the thread cutter, you just cut it with your foot. And she was like, "What are you doing over there? Like, let me see." And then she was like, "Let me see how much it cuts off." And so now she's gonna have a sewing machine to match, which is good because then when I go there, I don't have to carry my sewing machine on the thing.
Yeah. So that's what I told Carrie. I'm like, I'm buying it so that Kimberly can sew on it when she comes over.
He's like,
and he's like, okay. No,
he does.
He
doesn't
like,
care.
Okay, whatever.
He doesn't care. He really doesn't. Kevin.
But I don't like to shop with him at Home Goods because I'll pick up something and he'll just be like, don't you already have something like that? And I'm like,
oh, okay. The other story is yesterday. So let me tell. So we used to go. There's this antique store. It's been here since I was a kid. It's called Uncommon Objects. Mm-hmm. Really cool. Used to be on South Congress. I guess the rent got too high, so they moved. They moved to the homeless capital of the world. And then we pull up, and Lori's like, do you think it's safe to get out? I'm like, I don't know.
No, that was before we got there.
But
I said,
we couldn't
is
even
this a
see
safe
if there was,
neighborhood?
I was like, I don't even know. The store was still good and we still bought stuff, but I was just like.
Yeah, they had awesome antiques. I got 2 or 3 pieces.
I told her, I said, it's going to be expensive because it's Austin, but she bought. Oh, and then Carrie couldn't guess at dinner what. She was like, well, guess what I bought? And he couldn't guess. And he's like, I don't know. I already said everything you buy. And
because I always buy vintage bowls. I love vintage bowls. So of course I picked one of the pieces up was a vintage bowl. And he didn't guess it, but my kids are always saying, when I come home from a trip, you didn't buy another vintage bowl, did you, Mom? And I'm like, I sure did.
Or a book. She has a lot of vintage books. So he said vintage book. And then she bought a little basket, and then she bought a cowbell that's aqua.
Yeah, it's already aqua, and it's a cowbell.
And then she bought me what did I buy? What was it? A jar. A ball jar that's
really
aqua.
Old. It's the old original vintage ones with a different shape.
And then I put my AuriFloss empty spools in it already, because we were trying to,
That's great.
I'm like, you will have something vintage.
I know, she's like, you wouldn't decorate with vintage, would you? I'm like, no, not really.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Cindy Henderson said 3 shouts for class clowns. Yes.
That's right.
All right. And then we had a few people asking if you guys could explain the difference between DMC and AuriFloss.
Well, it's just a different brand. So they both have 6 strands. DMC comes on a skein and AuriFloss comes on a spool. And so they just have 6 strands, but AuriFloss is just a little bit thinner. Each strand is just a tiny bit thinner. So like if I use 2 strands of AuriFloss, I might use 3 strands of DMC. It just depends on what count cloth I'm using. Yeah.
So see, this is DMC, so it's on skeins, and that is on wooden spools. And a lot more comes on the AuriFloss. So it's more expensive, but you get like almost triple the amount of yards.
Yeah. I think it's pretty convenient on the spool too.
Mm-hmm. And it's cute.
And it has, they're different colors, obviously. Like you can try to match as close as you can, but
yeah, but they won't be exact.
AuriFloss has a lot of different colors that match my fabrics because I have AuriFloss thread, different weights to sew with, and then they make AuriFloss for embroidery and cross stitch and stuff. So
Karen Cox says, is Lugana 28 count okay for a beginner?
Yeah.
yeah, you just do over two threads.
And I do the same thing. I use my white, here it is, hold on this.
And so if it's 28 count, it would end up being the same size as 14.
I just use this light. I don't think it's charged, yeah. I use this light and it's called Halo Go. And I seriously sit here like this in I was gonna have Emma take a picture, but I sit here like this at dance conventions and stitch. So if I'm using 14 count or 28 count, anything, I use this, and it has a light. It's just not charged.
Do you put the design, like a design board on your lap?
At Stitch Things, I don't.
When
but
I
at
do
home,
that, when I have to have my light like that on my lap, I have to I
have
put my
something
design
put
board, or else it's like,
Yeah, at the dance conventions, I don't, just because I think she's already embarrassed enough that her mother is pulling out a light. But I'm
I told you, it's our job to embarrass
I'm
our
like,
kids.
if
That's
you
what
want
moms
me to
do.
sit here and watch you kick your leg, I'm gonna stitch. So that's how I got that monochromatic winter done. Is all during dance.
All right. And we do have a super chat for $2 from PB Creel. They say, thanks, Lori, Kimberly, and the team.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
Piggy says thank you.
Yes.
Oh, she got to
There's
meet Piggy.
Oh my gosh, he's so adorable.
He's so cute.
All right. Let's see. Janae Combs says, how do you store AuriFloss spools?
Well, mine are in, just like a little zip bag because they're on a spool. So it's,
At home, I keep them out for display. Remember how I had them out?
Oh, yeah, you
I
have yours
them,
out.
I have mine like on a little shelf. But
I keep mine in the box that they come in, like the sets. They come in a set. And then I just pull them out, just like you do with DMC, like the different colors, and then put them in a project bag if
Yeah,
I'm
like-
doing that project.
like
But
they come in like boxes if you buy them in a set. Otherwise, I would just keep them in a bag.
it's pretty convenient. Like I said, on the spool, you can just keep them in a box and you just take the whole thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, if you've separated 2 strands off of that, you can roll them back up on the spool like this. You just take the extra, like here's the extra orange, and you just roll them back up on the spool and then set it over to the side and kind of, so there's no loose ends. It's pretty awesome.
Cool. Carol Whitmore says, Lori, do you have vintage DMC? I have some that is 30 years old or more.
I do have vintage DMC because I've been stitching for a lot of years. So
I think she has vintage
probably
everything.
over 35 years I've been stitching. So
All right. Okay, Campfire Clay said, I really wanted to do last year's quilt along on the blog, but wasn't sure how much fabric to start with. I'm a beginner, so I have no idea how to gauge how much fabric you need.
which quilt
quilt
along?
along? So if it's a quilt along that we did, there should be a blog post on it. So just maybe go on our blog and kind of search around, and you should be able to find what you.
Well, and the only quilt along that's, if she's talking about
Oh,
my blog,
yours.
the vintage block along, because that's
Oh,
when I started out, and
that,
it was a
okay.
whole year long. I don't know if that's what she's
That
talking
is
about,
what
but
she's
that's the
talking
only
about.
one I didn't give like the exact yardage, like for background, because it's all scraps. I did all scrappy background, which is the point of it, meaning we were going to go all year long. So it's just grab from your stash and do this block this week, and then do another block the next week. And
Yeah.
then as we finished up, I gave the yardage for the borders and
Yeah,
binding
maybe
and
just
stuff
do
like
like a fat quarter bundle you like and some extra background, some half yards of some backgrounds. That's what I would start
yeah,
with.
exactly.
That's what I did. What did I used? What fabric? I used Farm Girl
You used
Vintage
bee backgrounds
and yeah, I bought a bee backgrounds fat quarter bundle, and then I bought a Farm Girl Vintage 2 fat quarter bundle, and then I started with that, and if I ran out, I just bought more.
yeah, and we did it all year long, so there was time to, like when you were getting low on backgrounds, you could just order some more. And yeah,
All right. And yes, you said it was about your blog with the
sorry.
vintage
yeah,
block.
that's what I did. Yeah,
Sorry.
I like to sell scrappy, so when I'm doing a scrappy project, sometimes I don't know. I didn't even know how big the quilt was going to be, so I couldn't say this is the amount of yardage. So that's exactly why I did scrappy, so that you could just keep adding different backgrounds and it wouldn't matter.
All right. A few people are wondering if you're going to be stitching Bloomtopia, Lori.
Yes, of course.
Ooh. All right. Beth Johnson says, do you ever sleep? You both have such great projects. Love Fat Quarter Shop and Lori Holt.
Thanks. I don't sleep very often.
I sleep a lot.
All
I do
right.
sleep a lot.
And from Elsa7856, she says, Lori, I love you. You are a very talented woman. I've been following your blog for a long time. I remember when you had great music playing on your blog. Miss that. God bless.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
You
they
used to
made me
have
take the
music?
music. Yeah, I used to have vintage, like I
Oh, I
created a
remember-
playlist of all my
okay,
vintage
okay.
songs that like my grandma and my mom, would play that I grew up, that I, like lots of Doris Day and stuff like that. But they changed that little widget, you couldn't put that on your blog anymore, so I had to take it down.
Okay.
I think I might remember that.
That sounds so nice.
That was when Cassidy was a little girl. So basically, if you follow back then, you saw Cassidy grow up, and now she's all grown up and married.
Oh my gosh. That's so exciting.
Her sons are all grown up too.
That's right.
Sterling does not like to be on social media, so that's why he's not on there.
Yeah, he's just
does
kinda
not.
quiet. He doesn't hate it or anything, but he's just like, whenever
He's
he
a
posts on
boy.
his social media, he cracks me up because Sterling's quiet, but he's super funny. He's not shy. He's just quiet. He doesn't waste his words, but he takes a picture of like a selfie when he was like in high school or something, and it would be like my house in the background, and he's like, yeah, I live in a dollhouse. That's because that's what you guys have seen my house if you've seen any of my quilt books, because that's where the photography normally takes place. So it really isn't a dollhouse, but I guess that's what he thought.
It is a dollhouse, though.
Aw. All right. So I have to ask this question. If any of you guys know, on the quilting side, I always ask a guest this question. What is your favorite food?
Oh.
Mexican.
Ooh. Any particular dish in Mexican food?
I like really good tamale.
Ooh, tamales. Ooh, Floss Whisperer has some in her freezer.
Really?
I don't eat tamales.
You're my new BFF.
That's
Floss
one.
Whisperer.
That's one of my things I don't eat. So.
Really? You don't? What?
No.
Oh no.
I don't eat sausage or tamales, or there's one other thing, and that's about.
I don't eat sausage either.
I hate sausage. Oh, if it touches my food.
Why don't
forget
you
it.
eat tamale?
I don't like that. I don't
Is
know.
it the texture?
I don't
the
know.
masa?
It just tastes bad.
Well,
I
it
don't
has
like
to be good too. Like there's not very many restaurants, I think,
I
that
don't
do a
know.
really good tamale.
I don't know. My dad used to, I don't know, he used to do it on purpose because he was just that way, because he was like funny. And he would go, like, okay, we grew up in the country, and so there was like one restaurant, like, it was like a barbecue place, like hole in the wall, somebody's house. So he would like go there on a Saturday and get all the stuff, and he would just get sausage just to piss me off. And he would know, that he was going to get back in the car and go back to get brisket because my mom was going to yell at him. It was the whole it's the whole funny thing, so that I can remember that 30 years later, because he would get in the car and go back and get it. He would do it on purpose just to like make me agitated.
Because that's fun.
It is, but man, I'm like, and like if we go like get barbecue and then we get it to go, I'm like, Kevin, don't put that sausage with that brisket, because then I'm not going to eat that. But that's like Kevin. He doesn't eat beans or tomatoes, and if they touch his food, he's not eating it.
All right, we got 2 more questions here, and then
Okay.
we're going to wrap it up. Christy Smolkovich says, hi, Kimberly, Lori, and Lily. Lori, as a designer, what is your favorite design process? Digital, in hand? Thanks, it's so fun to see besties together.
It's in hand. I'm not digital at all. I don't have any art training at all. Just the school of art, hard knocks. I just grew up in a creative family, and I draw everything. I draw everything on graph
Everything.
paper, including my fabric designs and my cross stitch, my quilts, everything. I just draw it by hand with a mechanical pencil and a piece of paper.
That's amazing. All right.
And she has the best handwriting, because yesterday she was like, oh, I'm going to write out the blocks for you for Moda Blockheads. And I was like, oh my gosh, your handwriting is so neat, because my handwriting is horrible. She's like, oh, that's sloppy. I was like, oh, it's so perfect. She's like writing in a straight
Kimberly,
line.
You're my BFF. You think I do everything perfect, but
I do.
I don't.
All right, Wendy Patrick says, do either of you lovely ladies like to use beeswax on your floss?
No.
I do. If I'm having a floss that's really tangly or something, and sounds really strange, but through applique and everything, I've noticed that green for me always tangles. So I think it's like some kind of a dye that they must have to use throughout every company. I really don't notice that with AuriFloss though.
I don't use it.
I don't think
but
that tangles, but even just applique thread, everything green tangles. So I usually, when I have to do a lot of green, I have my beeswax ready.
Like even if you're appliquing, you'll use it?
Yeah, it's just the green thread for from years of appliquing, no matter what brand it is. So it's got to be something in the dye process.
Yay! So thank you for watching. I would love for you to subscribe to our Fat Quarter Shop FlossTube channel, and we've got lots of stuff for you next week. And thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.